Oh, all of a sudden you stab me in the heart with our health care system. Then you turn around and call me a Boy Scout. I loved you, but now I don't know if I can ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Well, being a Boy Scout is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. Now I'm going to ask you a question about a miner that you love to hate. Barrick Gold bought Xstrata. Now, up in Ontario, they just laid off 750 men in an area on one copper mine and gold mine. Now, also that was reported on Canadian radio was Barrick Gold exhausted all their hedge book, and they're supposed to be free and clear. But if they can't control the gold or silver, because Xstrata also has a lot of zinc mines, which is a byproduct of silver, and this is why, John, people should be climbing and calling you right up and buying you right out of silver. Because if they start shutting down these mines, Bob, am I wrong in expecting, okay, they're going to try and trick the people, the little people with gold and silver. When they dump it all on the market, they say, oh, that's it, the bubble's broken, sell out, and they get all of it and leave everybody else with crap paper?
That's a distinct possibility, but Barrick has been well known worldwide, in Canada and the United States in particular. Okay. During the time that they were short, and they're still short, they're still hedged. They say they've finished covering, and they haven't. But they don't have much left, probably only $1 billion to $1.5 billion. It wasn't but a month ago, it was $2.5 billion, but they're working the position up, and they're doing with cash. They're not in the market. But Barrick has been well known, and I get this from geologists and engineers. They've been high grading for years all of their properties, and that was to get the most gold and silver and other metals out of the ground as quickly as possible and get them into the market for price suppression. Barrick is an extension of the United States government. And when Blanchard sued Barrick and the government, the suit was settled privately, but in the interrogatories, Barrick said, look, you can't do anything to us because we haven't done anything wrong. We were just doing what the United States government told us to do. And that's a fact.
Right.
And the people who run Barrick, if you look at who they are, they're all politicians or members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberger Group, the Bushes and Mulrooney's and, all of the cancerous sewers that afflict humanity. And Peter Monk, his history. He fled Canada under criminal charges, spent 7 years in American Samoa. The statute of limitations ran out. Then he wrote a book saying, well, I didn't really do anything. When he defrauded shareholders, defrauded the market, had inventory in his television producing subsidized factory, and it goes on and on. The guy is a crook, a first-class criminal, and needless to say, he doesn't care much for me.
Exactly right.
And I'm glad you asked about Barrick because it's one of the terrible eyesores that have afflicted the mining industry.
It's one of the big clogs, and if people do not keep an eye on what this company's doing, it's a lot of insight of what is coming down the pike. Would you not agree?
I think you're right. And I think a lot of these people, like Peter Monk and others who are connected within the Illuminati, they'll all come forward when the time is right and demand that our military take people like you and I and throw us in the internment camps, whether they're in United States or Canada, doesn't make any difference. They'll have them all over the world. And people like me, they'll just exterminate.
Dave, I wanted to ask... Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dave, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you feel there's any market for that Andrew Jackson in 1 ounce in gold?
Yes.
Well, what?
Yes.
Okay, we got them available.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, well,
patiently.
The price on those on today's spot plus $11.91.44.
That's a steal.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And we're taking orders on those things. You can call 800-724-2719. I can't wait to see one for myself.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Show.
Appreciate
Have a great
it, Dave.
night.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Dave in Illinois, you're up next, Dave. Hello, Dave.
John?
Yes.
Good evening, Bob. Good to talk to you guys. Listen to you every night. I love the Three Amigos show.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we're missing one.
Yep.
I got a question tonight for Bob. Been reading on the internet a lot about, as a matter of fact, it was an article on the market ticker about the government was going to ask for $1.2 trillion to raise the debt level. Now they're only asking for $400 billion or something along those lines. And the conjecture on it is that China and Japan have really reduced what they're buying as far as our bonds and T-bills. I was trying to get your take on that. It kind of sounds like they're setting up some kind of a timeline to run for the exits.
Well, I've been talking about that in relation to the ideas that are going around inside the Federal Reserve, and that is devaluation and default at the end of next year. I thought it would happen about a year and a half from now, but that's okay. 6 months one way or the other doesn't make any difference. The thing is preparation and everybody getting ready for what they're going to do. And the debt settlements will be between countries, and some deal will be figured out at some meeting like the Smithsonian in the 70s and the Plaza Accord in 85 and the Louvre Accord in 87. And they'll revalue, devalue currencies against one another. And the U.S. will probably go for 3 old ones for 1 new one. And how they will treat debt in the United States remains to be seen. That's internal domestic debt. And I think after that you could see giant volatility leading up to and then after in the currency markets because, it's hard today for news not to leak out. You'll see tremendous volatility in the gold and silver market. And, I talk about reflection of real inflation since 1980 being $6,700 an ounce. So John Williams, who's brilliant, comes in behind me and says no, $7,150. And now I'm seeing estimates of $8,000 and $9,000 and $10,000 an ounce. So I'm conservative again. And so that's the avenue in which this is all headed. And as I said earlier in the program, 3 months worth of funds in the bank, 6 months if you own a company, no CDs, no cash value life insurance policies, no annuities. If you can draw money out of your 401ks or other kinds of retirement entities that you have a lot of money in, I would think of doing that and putting it into gold and silver at this time. I've never advocated that, but I started about a year ago when I first started talking about the long side of gold and silver back in 2000 in June. Gold was $252 at the time. I told everybody to pay their bills off and get, solvent. And then
that's what
when I saw...
You mentioned John Williams, and I just read a dissertation that he put out. It was just last night, as a matter of fact. And reading shadow stats and stuff, he's never been a very alarmist type person. But from what I read last night, he pretty much told everybody, just get ready. The ride's about to get rough.
All right.
Well, he's right.
Dave, thanks for the call.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate
Good night,
it.
Bob.
All right. We'll break. We'll be right back. 800-313-9443 is the call-in number.